Hi, beautiful people. Today we're going to be talking about The Mitchells vs. the Machines, the latest film by Sony Pictures Animation, which was released on Netflix last week. I was really looking forward to this movie. So, naturally, I was kind of disappointed when it was delayed from October of last year to an unannounced release date. And while a couple months ago, Netflix announced that they will be releasing it, and gave it the title The Mitchells vs. the Machines, because originally the film was called The Mitchells vs. the Machines. Then there was a brief point where they changed it to Connected, and it was titled that for a while, to the point where I believe the first trailer had the title Connected. Like, I don't know if that's ever happened where a movie had multiple trailers and the title changed between the trailers, but please correct me if I'm wrong if that is the case. The movie, now called The Mitchells vs. the Machines again, was released on Netflix last week, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good movie, and I had a lot of fun watching the film. So the film is about this girl named Katie, who is an inspiring filmmaker, who is also about to head off to this film school where she is finally surrounded by what she calls her people, because her family just doesn't get her, as she says. She seemed to have a semi-decent relationship with her mom and especially her brother, but her relationship with her dad is pretty crappy, to the point where they argue in just about every family photo that they've taken in the last few years. But the big old breaking point was literally a breaking point where the dad accidentally broke Katie's laptop, and Katie was more happy than ever to head off to college. The dad tries to make it up by canceling her flight and instead take her to college on the road in the family's old car from the 90s and have a big old road trip over a few days. If it'll take you literal days to get to your destination, it's best to just fly there. Like, if you can make the trip in just one day, drive there. It'll be fine. But, like, dude, you'll waste all the gas money. Just fly there, man. Just fly there. Yeah, there'll be family bonding, but just take a plane, dude. But their road trip is interrupted by the robot apocalypse. This Siri Alexa style AI called Pal got pissed that a new updated version of her was created, and she was basically just thrown to trash. So she takes over the world and kidnaps the entire human race in this in these pods, which have a comfy chair and free Wi-Fi, but no food or water. And they're going to be launched out into space for all eternity. Now, they managed to capture everybody but our main characters, the Mitchells. And the Mitchells accompany these two robots that malfunction, and they become friends along the way, but still, yeah. So now the Mitchells have to fight off the robots and save the world, while learning a little thing about family along the way. I have to admit, this sounds pretty friggin' stupid. Let's be honest. It sounds dumb. But I don't think anyone was expecting this movie to be as good as it is. It really has no right being as good as it is. They managed to get the right people, the right crew, the right cast, the right director, the right everybody to bring this thing together and make it the funniest movie that Sony Pictures Animation has ever made. Some of their previous movies, like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and Hotel Transylvania, they're funny, but it's mostly the animation that's funny. Like, you laugh through the wacky movements and expressions done by the characters with the animation. The actual dialogue and the jokes that they do, well, a couple of them can give a chuckle. The grand majority of them aren't really that funny. This movie, on the other hand, actually does have some really funny dialogue as well as some funny animation. So you get both funny animation and funny dialogue, which is almost unheard of in most comedic animated movies these days. I've laughed so many times during this movie. It's actually kind of crazy, really. This movie is funny. Your funny bone is going to get tickled quite a bit throughout this movie. Speaking of the funny animation, let's talk about that, because I really do like it. As I said, the director of this movie was a writer on Gravity Falls, and it definitely does feel a bit like Gravity Falls at some points. The character designs in particular really do look like 3D Gravity Falls characters. Like, another cute thing about the animation is at some points, at random points during the movie, there would be these weird 2D effects to make it look like one of Katie's home movies. In the beginning, it was cute, it was funny, but as the movie went on, you started to kind of get a little sick of them. They can be a little annoying, but that's mainly a fault with the storytelling and not the animation itself. The animation on them is really well done. I do enjoy that, but I feel like you could do without the grand majority of them. And the animation really shines during the action scenes. The animators went full ball to the wall, insane with their action scenes throughout the movie, especially during the final action scene. Oh boy, that was amazing. This is where the colors really do shine, and mwah! Fantastico! And the characters are also pretty likable. You got Katie, who's the weird filmmaker who's filming a lot of things and wants the good cause to never see her family again, particularly her dad. But she learns a message about family in the end. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that this is the first mainstream animated family film where the main character is LGBT. Like, openly confirmed LGBT. I did think that's pretty cool and pretty progressive, so yeah. I like that. That's pretty cool. Her dad is also pretty likable, and it's not like he's the obvious bad guy per se towards her. Like, you can see the pros and cons between both characters. Katie just wants to live her life and prove that she can be independent without her dad on her shoulder. But her dad just doesn't want to see her baby girl grow up and wants to see her spend a little bit more time with the family and a little less time on her cell phone. Katie wants to see her dad actually learn how to use a cell phone. His determination to be in his daughter's life and be there for her, but not really knowing particularly what she really wants to do, is what makes him a good dad. The mom is also pretty likable. The son's pretty funny, I will admit myself. The son, I believe his name is Andrew, or something with an A, and he's actually voiced by the director himself, so he did a good job, I will admit. Basically, his main stick is that he's probably even weirder than Katie, and he really likes dinosaurs. The kid cracks me up. He's funny. There's the two robots that accompany the Mitchells on their journey. They're the comic relief characters to lighten the mood. They're lots of fun. The dog. My God, the dog. That dog is gonna be the subject of so many memes. Surprised I haven't seen that many memes of him already. I'm sure they're out there, but I haven't seen many of myself. There's the big tech guy in charge of the company, Pal, played by Eric Andre. Standard rich billionaire tech type of guy. Clearly a satire on people like Elon Musk or Bill Gates or Steve Jobs. Pretty much the best way to describe him is Tony Stark if he never became Iron Man. And then you have Pal, or as I like to call her, Evil Siri. Basically, she's sick of the way that technology has been treated over the years and on how humans are fucking stupid. So she wants to get rid of all the humans and make Earth entirely inhabited by robots. Pal is a likable villain. I love how, like, she doesn't give, like, humanity a chance, like, at all. She's like, oh, you had your chance, now you're all gonna die. Well, no, we're not gonna kill you. We're just gonna launch you up in space where you will never be found again. This movie's funny. This movie has some great animation, a good story, likable characters, and it's kind of progressive. So, it's truly the big definition of a family film. There are elements that every member of the family will love and enjoy. It's more of a family film than any movie that Sony has made. Well, Sony Animation. And I really had a fun time watching it. I would highly recommend you watch this with your family, because it is definitely great to watch with the family, alongside films like the Incredibles movies. It's up there, man. I don't know if it's as good as the Incredibles, but it's still a really good movie. So I highly recommend you give The Mitchells vs. the Machines a look. My only real gripe with the film is that I wish I could have seen it in theaters. This movie was supposed to be in theaters, but because of you know what, the movie ended up getting delayed, and then eventually Netflix picked it up and dumped it on there. And with the beautiful animation that this movie has shown us, my God, it would have looked amazing to see this on the big screen. And I don't think we'll ever get the chance to see this in theaters, because apparently Sony sold the rights to the movie to Netflix. What? So Sony Pictures Animation are releasing 4 movies this year, and 3 of them are coming to Netflix. We've already had this movie, and later on we're going to have Wish Dragon and the highly anticipated Lin-Manuel Miranda musical, Vivo. And here's the thing, Wish Dragon, maybe. That probably might not have gone well in theaters. But this movie, with Phil Lord and Chris Miller prominently featured in the advertisement, and with some stars attached to it, I feel like this film could have really done well in theaters if they decided to do that. And Vivo, with Lin-Manuel Miranda as the star and the songwriter for the film, I think that would have gone great in theaters, especially since Hamilton is getting a bit of a resurgence now thanks to that Disney Plus movie, and other Lin-Manuel Miranda movies are on the way, such as the In the Heights adaptation and Disney's Encanto. I think Sony's just playing it safe, dumping their movies onto Netflix, and not even giving them a chance to be in theaters. Like, the only animated movie that they're releasing in theaters this year is Hotel Transylvania Transformania, which is the first movie in the franchise to not be directed by Genndy Tartakovsky, which will be interesting. My only complaint, I wish I could have seen it in theaters. People getting the vaccine now, and many movie theaters are open right now, or at least my local theater is. And the fact that many movie studios are doing a thing where they're going to release their movies in theaters and on a streaming service the same day, like what HBO Max does and what Disney Plus is doing with their movies. I feel like they could have released this movie in theaters just fine. But what do you guys think? What did you guys think of The Mitchells vs. the Machines? Would you have liked to see it in theaters? Please let me know down in the comments below. And if you liked this video, be sure to give it a
big, sexy like.
And to subscribe so you don't miss another one of these pieces of trash. And ring the bell to be notified of when I upload one of these absolute garbage fires. Anyway, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.